Hello, folks. It's been a while since we have taken a look at a Nerf blaster on this channel. And yes, I am making iced tea right now because I feel like it, and you know, I love my iced tea. Basically can't live without it. Let's make sure we... Oh, that's a little warm. Oh, well. Alright, so... there is obviously I guess you can say minority of Nerf blasters, if you will, that never really seem to get enough love. And I hate the fact that this type of gun, or Nerf gun, doesn't really get enough love. And that is, of course, the shotgun. I love shotguns. But we're going to take a look at what you could argue the first ever Nerf shotgun to take the Nerf Elite Dart. And that is, of course, the Nerf N-Strike. Okay, well, this is the Nerf N-Strike Elite version. Nerf N-Strike Barrel Break. However, this gun was not. This Nerf gun wasn't welcome with open arms. In fact, this is one of the most hated Nerf blasters of all time, considering its slow reload process. There we go. Slow reload. This is gonna be a tough video. Slow reload process, and its lack of capacity, only shooting 2 darts. However, it did come with a top attachment point where it has dart storage similar to the Ion Fire, but I'm pretty sure this one, the N-Strike Barrel Break, did not come with this. So, does it deserve the hate? Well, let's find out. Now, honestly, this Nerf blaster is rather innovative. And the reason why I say that is because this is the first ever Nerf blaster to do the 2 trigger thing. Like the double trigger. What I mean by double trigger is that you have your trigger right there. You pull it halfway and it fires 1 dart. Pull the rest, and it fires the other. So let me show you a bit of a visual as to what it looks like with the darts I have, which are the Dart Zone darts. So here it is halfway, and here it is fully. Let me show you it again. One and 2. So that is a bit on how the barrel break works, which is obviously very cool, because if you're in a Nerf war, you definitely don't want to waste all of your darts. So you can pull it halfway to shoot 1 and then pull the rest, or you could just, go at it and pull 2 at once. Which, just so you know, here's what it looks like with 2 at once. There you go. Oh. So, interesting blaster. The problem with this blaster is that its range is absolutely garbage, which we'll get to in a bit. The range of this blaster is absolutely garbage. It's like, it fires like 35 FPS, or 35 feet per second. And honestly, why would you want to use this over the rough cut, which came not too long after this, after the barrel break? The rough cut is also smart AR. No. It's not. No. What I meant by is it also has the double trigger. It's a little harder to do on this one. Hold on a sec. It's easier if I do it with my dominant hand. There we go. It has 8 shots, so you don't really have to reload. It can slam fire. And it is a much more useful shotgun. It also has attack rail. And it's also a lot more comfortable than, say, the barrel break. So, why would you want to use this than this? Okay, well, honestly, I do see potential in the barrel break being used as a nerf blaster. Or a nerf gun in a nerf war. You know, you can hide it in a designated spot with it loaded. With its 2 darts. You're out of ammunition in, say, your primary. Alright, you're running around trying to find where you hide the barrel break, just in case if you're out of ammo. Your enemy's coming right towards you. You can just open the compartment where you stored the barrel break, and then surprise! He is done for with both darts. So I do see potential in this being some sort of a backup weapon. But as a primary, you're absolutely dead meat. Like, you're absolutely dead if you have this as your primary. As a pistol, I mean, you can't really use it as a pistol because you can't really store it in any of your clothing, and since that it is about the size as the rough cut. So, as a backup weapon, it would work best in Nerf wars. But not in, like, store in wherever. I mean, like, put it in a designated spot so you have a neat surprise. So usefulness isn't really fantastic. But is it fun? Yeah, it is pretty fun. I mean, I really love firing this thing. I also really love dry firing it. And I also like how it's got levers. So the barrel pops out. You pull it. And you take it down. And then you load the darts in just like how you would with a normal double-barrel shotgun. And yes, before you comment down below, yes, I acknowledge that the double fire exists. I actually have that gun, and it is miles better than this. Even though it's very uncomfortable. But I still have to talk about this because I have shown this blaster in many Nerf videos that I cannot believe I haven't done like a full-on video on this. So yeah, let's do some firing. So, we're gonna start off... Hold on a sec, let me get my Nerf Elite darts. Alright. So... One second, fix my pants a little bit. Alright. So, we're gonna start off with our Nerf Elite darts. We got 6 of them here. We're gonna turn on our chronograph. Our handy-dandy chronograph, set that to FPS, and we're ready to roll. Alright, so we're going to start with Nerf Elite darts. I'm going to start by doing it halfway. 35 flat. Second barrel. 42.3. Alright, now our next roundup of our 2 darts. It takes at least like 5 seconds to reload if you don't fumble the darts. Here it is. 30 flat, and it seems like the first barrel is much worse than the second barrel. 40.9. 1 and 2. Push it down. We are ready to roll. 31.4 and 46.1. Okay, now it's time to do the second part of the firing demonstration with doing it 2 at a time. It's probably going to be much worse than, say, 1 at a time, but worth a shot. And it might be a little bit difficult for the chronograph to do that because chronographs are usually meant for 1 projectile at the time. 42.1. It seems like it caught the second barrel movement instead of the first. 33. I got to do that again. I fired the first barrel instead of wolf at a time. Let's try it again. There we go. 40.4. And here we go. 41.4. Okay. Time for the dart zone darts. First shot. 37.3 and 45 flat. $38 flat and 40 flat. A little ice cube right there. Oh, I almost put in the darts the wrong way. Could have been really bad. 36.7 and 31.2. Okay. So, a little bit more consistent with the dart zone darts. However, the second barrel performed a little worse this time than, say, the first barrel. Okay, now it's time for 2 at a time. So, here we go. 38.5. Come on, darts. Come on. Second time. 37.9. And 36.1. Okay. So, like I said, the range in this Nerf blaster is completely garbage. It's one of the worst blasters when it comes to range. It's even worse than, say, the Mandalorian pistol when it actually works. However, the question is, does this Nerf blaster deserve all the hate it gets? Honestly, no. I don't think this blaster deserves the hate it gets. The reason why is because it is rather innovative due to the fact that it's maybe the first ever Nerf shotgun, and considering the fact that before the rough cut came out, it was basically this or no shotgun at all. It's also the first ever Nerf blaster, like I said, to do the double trigger where you pull 1 and then 2 to shoot the other Nerf dart. And honestly, it is a pretty fun and goofy Nerf blaster. So honestly, it's not terrible. I can see why people hate it because of how unreliable it is, but if you want to do it to use the Nerf blaster just for fun, go for it. This blaster may be for you. But in the Nerf war, this is almost completely useless. Not terrible, just I guess it's okay. You could say that this is like one of the first ever so bad it's good Nerf blasters per se. So honestly, not terrible. So anyways, that is my review on the Nerf N-Strike Elite Barrel Break. I have the N-Strike Elite version, but I guess I'll call it N-Strike for the video. Nerf N-Strike Barrel Break. Yeah, so not terrible. I guess it's okay. So anyways, make sure you like, subscribe, send this video to a friend, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.